Welcome to your network's edge, where innovation meets connectivity. This podcast explores IoT, 5G, the network edge, and AI-powered networking. RAD solutions are empowering communication service providers and critical network operators to stay ahead in a connected world. Let's dive into the insights that drive modern connectivity.
Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at the world of IoT solutions.
Okay.
We're taking a specific look at a webinar by Bjorn Berra. Now, this guy's an IoT solutions manager with like a ton of experience. He's got 2 decades under his belt in communications technology.
Wow, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, and, he talks about this idea of a perfect technology storm brewing, which is kind of cool, And he's saying this is what's making these really robust and affordable solutions possible, like right now.
So not some far-off future thing. This is now.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. What about you?
Definitely. Let's dive in.
Okay, so I think it's important to really set the stage here. Why are we even talking about this? What's driving this demand for these IoT solutions?
Well, Bjorn points to a few big things. One is this growing concern around cybersecurity. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
All the devices we use every single day, smartphones, laptops, all the smart home gadgets.
All those smart things, yeah.
Every single one of those is like a potential vulnerability.
Yeah, totally.
And, IoT solutions, they can play a really important role in actually mitigating those risks.
That's a huge point. And it's not just our personal devices either, right? I mean, you look at the rise of private LTE and 5G networks.
Absolutely.
And that's creating tons of opportunities for businesses to use these IoT solutions too.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you've got the increasing accessibility of satellite connectivity. I mean, we can connect devices pretty much anywhere now. It's crazy.
That's like the whole world is becoming this giant connected network.
Exactly. And so one thing I thought was really interesting, Bjorn really focused on this in the webinar, was the rapid growth of LP WANs. Have you heard of these?
I have.
Low power wide area networks. So these are technologies, things like LoRa. And they're designed to connect huge numbers of sensors over these really long distances using very little power.
Wow.
Yeah. And he even mentioned that businesses in the sector are experiencing explosive growth. So it's not just some theory, it's happening right now.
Yeah, super interesting.
So, we've talked about the why behind these IoT solutions, but of course, any new technology, you're going to have your skeptics. And Bjorn acknowledges this, right? And he says that some people are concerned about security, how complex it can be to integrate these solutions, and then also, are the benefits really worth it? What are we even talking about here?
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. So what did you think about how he addressed those concerns?
I thought he did a really good job. He basically said, look, RAD tackles these challenges head on. They focus on these end-to-end integrated solutions. So it's about, providing that comprehensive approach. It's tailored rather than just throwing technology at the problem.
So it's understanding each client's needs.
Needs and goals.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the why, we've got some of the challenges, but now I want to get into the what. What can these solutions actually do?
Yeah, what are we even talking about here?
Yeah, what kind of benefits are we talking about?
Well, this is where the concept of actionable insights comes in. And this was something that Bjorn really emphasized. He said it's not just about collecting data for the sake of it. You have to use that data to make better decisions, to optimize processes, and ultimately to save time and money.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
He used a really good example talking about cell tower monitoring.
Okay.
And that really clicked for me. So think about it. In the past, you would have engineers constantly having to go out to these towers, physically check on the equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, just imagine the time, the expense, and the potential for things to go wrong between those visits.
Huge. Yeah.
So it's a very reactive approach. And sometimes those problems could get really bad before anyone even knew about them.
You don't even know.
But now with these sensors, they can monitor temperature, they can monitor power consumption, and all sorts of other key metrics, 204/7.
So it's always on.
Always on, yeah. You have a real-time view of what's happening, which is really cool. And that leads to this idea of predictive maintenance. So you're catching issues before they turn into huge problems.
I mean, that's got to be a game changer.
Yeah, and in terms of cost savings, operational efficiency, it's huge.
Totally. Yeah, it really is. And Bjorn actually gave a great example.
Oh, wow.
He talked about how they can help identify these power consumption discrepancies across all the different cell sites. So by analyzing that data from all those sensors, engineers can really pinpoint what's causing these inefficiencies, and then they can optimize energy usage across the entire network.
So like turning raw data into actual savings.
Exactly. And while the cell tower thing is a good example, these solutions apply way beyond that. Bjorn also talked about data centers and power utilities leveraging IoT for similar benefits.
So those are some areas where efficiency is critical.
Right.
I mean, think about data centers and all the energy they use, especially with more and more cloud computing, and then power utilities. Reliability is key there, right? Any disruption can have a massive impact.
For sure. And think about the challenges those sectors face, like in data centers, keeping those cooling costs under control. It's like a constant battle.
It's gotta be.
And for power grids, it's those weather-related risks, always a major concern.
Yeah.
But IoT solutions, they can monitor things like dust accumulation, vibration, even the tilt of a power grid tower.
Really?
Yeah. So it can help mitigate those risks and keep things running smoothly.
It's amazing how these tiny sensors can have such a huge impact on these big systems.
Yeah.
He even mentioned using LoRa to monitor power grid towers within like a 5 to 10 kilometer radius from a single gateway.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
That's pretty amazing range, and it really highlights the scalability and the flexibility of these solutions, so you can monitor these vast areas with minimal infrastructure, and you're collecting all this valuable data that can be used to improve safety, efficiency, and ultimately peace of mind.
Peace of mind is a big one.
It is, and it all comes back to RAD's focus on that holistic approach. So they're not just offering these individual components. It's a comprehensive suite of tools, sensors, gateways, IoT platforms, AI-powered analytics, all working together.
So they're giving you all the pieces of the puzzle and then helping you put it together in a way that works for you.
Exactly, and that's a key point. Customization, Bjorn emphasized that RAD doesn't believe in a one-size-fits-all approach. So they tailor their solutions to each individual use case. You're getting the most relevant and impactful insights for your situation.
So if we take a step back and look at the big picture, what does all this mean for our listeners?
Well, I think the key takeaway is that IoT isn't just a buzzword or some futuristic fantasy. It's a powerful tool, and it's available now,
Right.
offering real-world solutions to these complex challenges across tons of different industries.
So it's about moving from reactive to proactive, from guesswork to data-driven decision-making.
Exactly. And we're at a point where these solutions are becoming more and more accessible, more affordable for all sizes of businesses.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, the barrier to entry is getting lower, which is great. More organizations can leverage the power of IoT to improve their operations, reduce costs, and ultimately make better decisions.
Yeah, it's like we have all this incredible power, and we have to decide how we use it.
Yeah.
We don't want to just get caught up in the shiny new tech without thinking about, the bigger picture.
Absolutely. It's about finding that balance between innovating and being responsible. And Bjorn touched on this in the webinar, and it really stuck with me.
Yeah.
He said, while RAD is developing these cutting-edge solutions, they also recognize that ethical considerations are super important.
Which is huge.
Mm-hmm.
I think especially in a field like IoT, where there's so much potential for data collection and analysis.
Yeah.
You have to be having those conversations about privacy, security, responsible data use from the get-go.
Yeah, and it's not even just about avoiding bad stuff. It's about actively shaping this technology to actually benefit society.
Okay.
Imagine a world where IoT is being used to optimize resources, improve healthcare outcomes, create more sustainable cities.
I mean, that's a future I want to be a part of.
Right.
It's inspiring to think about what we can accomplish if we use this technology with a purpose, with a commitment to ethical development.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, and I think that's the perfect way to wrap things up.
I agree.
This deep dive has been fascinating, and I hope our listeners are walking away understanding not just the potential of IoT, but also the responsibility that comes with it.
Yeah, it's a future we all play a part in shaping.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been another great deep dive. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to Your Network's Edge. Stay ahead in the world of connectivity. Be sure to subscribe, share, and explore RAD's solutions at rad.com. Until next time, stay connected and inspired.